Donald Trump is a guy who has indicated that maybe climate change is a hoax. How concerned are you about your company's future and the future of the industry under President-elect Trump?
You know, I'm not concerned at all. Renewables are absolutely here to stay. The cost performance is just there, and the people want it. And just to highlight what voters wanted, if we look at the federal election, where the energy policy gets set is really more at that state level. And there were two places where there was a voting based on rooftop solar, and that was in Florida and that was in Arizona, or Nevada, excuse me. And in Florida, the same voters that elected Trump and Rubio also voted to keep rooftop solar into the state. So you're actually seeing that rooftop solar is very of the moment. It creates the jobs people want, the domestic jobs. It brings affordable solar energy to people, and it brings competition. And that's a very bipartisan set of characteristics.
Okay, but there's still some question about how Donald Trump feels about it. Let's take a listen. He hasn't said very much since being elected, but let's take a listen to one thing he did say.
On energy, I will cancel job-killing restrictions on the production of American energy, including shale energy and clean coal, creating many millions of high-paying jobs. That's what we want. That's what we've been waiting for.
When you hear him say that, when you hear concern about tax credits getting rolled back, I mean, what's your response?
Well, I think first what he's saying is we're investing in infrastructure and we're investing in jobs. And we're investing in domestic jobs. And that's precisely what we're doing. So as you're saying, as you said in the opening comments, the jobs in solar are growing 12 times that of the rest of the economy. And so I see it very consistent with his message. The other benefit about the rooftop solar is that what we're really competing with is the price of retail power. And that's why it's so efficient and why we'll win long term. It just makes sense to use the existing rooftop infrastructure and to produce the power where it's delivered. So we're not really competing with the centralized power sources. We're competing with the whole cost to actually transmit them over to the home. Now, on to the tax credits. I will say that the tax credit was a policy that was extended under a Republican-led Congress. That was a George Bush era policy. It sunsets after 4 to 5 years, and that's what's so great about this industry is that our cost reductions that we are realizing make it so that to subsidize this industry makes a ton of sense. It's working. It's creating the jobs and it's bringing the savings to people.
Hey, Lynn, I wonder if we will sort of drill down. I buy your argument that the state policy has tended to drive solar more than federal. But when I look at what's happening with your company and places that maybe you're succeeding and others aren't, I have trouble distinguishing between the companies. Solar City, in point of fact, right, has massively cut their guidance towards how many megawatts they're going to install. They operate in many of the same markets where Sunrun is, and you guys have not cut that. And I wonder how you're seeing the world differently from they are.
Well, the benefit of our industry is that we have a available market size that is vastly beyond where we are today. So if you just look at U.S. households, we're penetrated 2-3%. But when you actually look out over 10 years with the cost reductions we're expecting, that can be 20%, which means that we would deliver a 20% annual growth rate over 10 years. I've been very consistent to say that this industry can sustain that. Now, during that time period, there can be companies that get over-levered. There can be companies that get in trouble. But one of the things that I'm most proud of now is, it's our 6th quarter being public, and we've delivered nice, strong, consistent growth. And if you look at our performance year to date, we are 50% year over year in terms of the number of megawatts that we've installed.